Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. I can't believe it's week 4 already. I think I say that during every TP, it seems to go so fast. Now this week the focus shifts a little bit because we're now moving into assessment 2 territory. So we're starting to think about how certain behaviours can occur, and then us as teachers obviously need to be able to support the children with their behaviour. So we need to be able to find resources or some sort of support material that's going to help us as teachers and help the students to manage these problems and hopefully effectively remove these problems or lessen the problems that you seem to be having in the classroom to ensure that the student can find success in friendships and success in relationships, but also success academically. So to have a little bit of a practice, our task this week is to have a look at bullying. So we're going to have a look at some bullying resources. Now the reading this week is to do with friendship, and it is quite long and there are quite a few ideas in there. So I thought I'd just pull out some of the things that I found interesting. So they talk about the fact that it sounds quite odd to think of it in this way, but that friendships, do develop and change with age, and that there is a developmental and a sort of cognitive process side to friendships. So you think about the friendship between 2 and 3-year-olds and how they use parallel play and how they're just happy to pretty much be with each other because they have similar interests in toys or similar interests in balls or similar interests in running around crazy. And they're more focused to people obviously within their proximity. So if you have a boy who lives next door to you or is your mum's friend or goes to your kinder, they're going to be your friends as well. Before obviously you get older, and that it obviously becomes a lot more sophisticated, and they talk in the reading about how older children were able to articulate what they valued in friendship, and the meaning of friendship sort of developed from there, where it was a bit more empathetic, where children could see, they started talking about values in sort of, I guess, personality traits and values of what they valued within a friend and what made a good friend, and they were able to, I guess, articulate that pretty well. Things like loyalty, things like, being with the person and valuing them and giving them, good feedback were all things that those sort of older children said. They sort of moved on to sort of cultural influences as well, which I thought was interesting. And then also got into a little bit of the differences between genders. So you're looking at how, gender can have a, significant impact on early friendships because we seem sort of bound by gender groups, and how they even can be perhaps a bit of a stigma for, a little boy who wants to play with a group of girls or vice versa. They talked about the differences and how girls are able to talk and boys have those a bit more looser friendships, probably centered around a central thing that they all like. So they're the sort of common ideas that I found in the reading. So these are the things that kids are looking for and being able to develop so that they can develop these friendships. And when we look at sort of linking it back to bullying, it's often the children, and I'm just generalizing, and it's not always the case, but it can be sometimes the case that kids who don't develop strong friendship groups sort of find themselves out on their own and could perhaps be targets for bullies who are looking to, upset somebody. So let's have a look at some bullying resources and have a chat about how, we can link this back to our learning theories that we've been learning about, because these learning theories are going to stay with us for assessment 2 as well. So we want to find a resource on bullying that you could use in the classroom. So it could be something that prevents bullying or something that tackles it after it's happened. You can post an explanation as to why you've chosen it, and you can make reference to a learning behaviour theory, and then you're going to comment. So having a look, and I hope I got it up, I have, and I'll just scroll back up, I have decided to have a look at one that I just found on the internet, which was Bully Teacher Resource, and it was called Bully, It's Time to Take a Stand. Developed by Bully Busters, which is quite a prominent resource out there. I had a long read through, got a lot of lesson plans to it, a lot of videos and sort of different stuff, but it's got a very high socio-cultural element to it. These are the things that jumped out at me. Every lesson revolves around some sort of discussion or some sort of small group work where children work together to be able to sort of flesh out ideas and come to some sort of agreement and some sort of acknowledgement of what bullying is and how you prevent it and what you need to do. So if you have a look at lesson 1 here that I'm scrolling through, it very quickly goes into, here in the small groups, we're going to discuss what bullying is. Why do some people bully? What might be occurring for these young people to be able to do that. So lots and lots of things to do with discussions and groups, and we've even got things like, I can see here, we've got a think, pair, share, which again, it utilises that sort of sociocultural theory. You could also say that we could be perhaps using more knowledgeable others in some way, particularly with think, pair, share, and lots of things surrounding obviously kids working together in that sort of collaborative environment. So that was my example. I'd love to see some examples on some bullying resources that you can share with me here, and we'll start thinking about assessment too. Thanks everyone.